You don't have to be an accredited investor. You don't have to have a lot of money to participate. So in the end, we can thank the SEC for that lawsuit and for keeping XRP's price low for us to be able to accumulate over all this time. We started buying at 25 cents, so it's already up 300% from where we started accumulating. Plus, with all the massive airdrops that we've received, it's already been a very good investment, even though the SEC brought the lawsuit, and even though it has kept XRP from reaching new highs again. But I think that time is close. And while nobody knows when the SEC lawsuit is over, the lawyers are saying maybe around April. So I think we're getting close, and I think it's quite likely this year that will happen. And right after the lawsuit is settled, Ripple has said they will take their company public. So it's a 1-2 punch that XRP will benefit from, and private investors in Ripple stock will also benefit from. And even though Warren Buffett has said he is not a fan of cryptocurrency, it's very interesting how he is an investor in SBI Holdings, which owns 12% of Ripple stock. He's also heavily invested in Bank of America, which is also a big Ripple partner. Whichever path you choose, whether it's Ripple stock or XRP, or if you choose both like I have, to me, this is an obvious choice of one of the best investment opportunities in our lifetime, in my opinion. And I definitely can see how Ripple could become the most valuable company out there of all publicly traded companies. But I can also see why XRP can become the most valuable cryptocurrency of all cryptocurrencies.
That was Linda P. Jones, and she has over 1,000 podcasts, 7 million downloads. Her podcast was named as the best 6 investing podcasts, along with the 5 best personal finance podcasts and the best money talk podcast by women. She's going to be joining me on the channel this month, and we're going to hear a little bit more from her in her recent Ripple podcast that was uploaded a few days ago. But first, we're going to take a look at the market and also hear from a recently announced payments company that is using XRP in their solution. And he says that their growth is so explosive, they have to throttle back. They have to throttle back their business because it is just growing so fast. There is also a U.S. Congress member. This person just must be voted out, and I'll explain why. And 3 projects that I own that are just blowing the doors off. I just really want to share that with you. And Ukraine, I'm not sure if you know, but there are 200,000 developers in Ukraine. It's very, very much an important part of the developer world, and 20% of the Fortune 500 companies are actually being built by Ukrainian developers. And that's not even talking about the amount of Ukrainian developers that are in the crypto space. So how is this situation affecting them? We're going to take a look at that. And oh yeah, Flare getting very, very close to launch. I'm talking about Flare Networks. We're going to take a look at a couple of tweets. But first, XRP is back in that 3rd position by market cap. And no, I'm not counting the stable coins like Tether, BNB, and USDC. All 3 of them are getting very bunched up, by the way, in terms of value. BNB, the Binance coin, is looking like it's going to flip Tether. There's only a $17 billion difference. Very close and very interesting. The entire market is up just slightly in the last 24 hours. No big gainers and no real big losers by percentage either. So what we're going to look at is this CEO from Pyypl, who makes a use case for blockchain when sending cross-border payments. And yes, he does talk a lot about XRP too. All right, let's get to it. We're on the Pyypl Payments website, and this is a company that is focusing on the Middle East, Africa, and Central Asia. They're 100% compliant, and yes, they're using the digital asset XRP as a bridge currency, and they've been around since 2017 and expanding fast. They call themselves a deep fintech company. Please have a listen to the 3 clips from an interview that just took place on March 4th, a couple of days ago.
What we do, for example, with Ripple is kind of, we have 2 things that Ripple, that's one of the blockchain protocols we use for cross-border transactions. So we have 2 things out of that arrangement. So we have global technical connectivity to hundreds of financial institutions. And the second part is this real-time liquidity. And we do it in XRP cryptocurrency, so it's country agnostic. And these 2 things allow us to do real, kind of near real-time transactions at a very, very affordable cost, and without our money being stuck anywhere unnecessarily. And at the same time, we're connected to the whole world. So that's kind of, it's a practical implementation for us. We're growing so fast right now that some days we need to throttle our product a few times a day because there's just so much demand. Of course, this is a good
problem to have.
Yeah, it's a nice one, and then the solution is really simple. So the next fresh funding coming, it will unleash this opportunity, and the investors will immediately sort of directly benefit from injecting a little bit of fresh capital, and whoa, we can just grow. So we'll be in 8 markets, but I'm not going to name those markets now.
All right.
I hope you caught that country agnostic that he mentions, because this is why XRP can also be used to bridge these CBDCs. That's the central bank digital currencies. That's every bank around the world is digitizing their sovereign currency. And because XRP is neutral, it can be used as a bridge between those 2 different fiat currencies, even though it's digital. And so the expanded use case of XRP is so large. And what about those 8 markets he talks about? Which ones would they be? Well, we can see that they are currently operational in the Abu Dhabi global market. And that's the financial free zone that you have in the UAE and Bahrain. You see that here. And then the authorization to operate in Kenya, Mozambique, and Kazakhstan. And it looks like they're getting preparations in order for Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Tanzania, Oman, Qatar, Uganda, Namibia, Jordan, and Kuwait. So my guess is those 8 that are coming are from this list that are in the preparations column. All right, let's jump to who we need to remove from Congress. So that Congress member is Senator Elizabeth Warren. She's choosing yet again to ignore the facts, trying to paint crypto in a bad light to scare the other Congress members so that she can look high and mighty on this situation. She wants to regulate the market in a way that is advantageous for legacy groups like JP Morgan. They are not going to regulate it so that it offers a level playing field. Listen to her tweet here. Criminals can use cryptocurrency to move money in the shadows, opening a door for Putin and his cronies to evade economic sanctions. That is false. She goes on to say, I want answers from U.S. Treasury on how they'll ensure crypto doesn't undermine our response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I tell you, there have been so many articles. I think she's choosing to be intellectually dishonest. We've got a brand new report on this that came out from the Digital Pound Foundation. Ripple and Quant are members of that. And they explain that, SWIFT is a bank-owned entity in Brussels. It provides banks around the world, some 11,000 of them, to message these payment requests carrying the details of the transaction to be processed across the system. There's like 42 million transactions a day. So they're showing that, you just wouldn't use crypto. It's just not an obvious solution. It doesn't have the liquidity. It doesn't have the conversion ease of conversion into fiat. It's costly, it takes time, and then you've got the transparency. Blockchain is transparent, and all those flows are visible. You have companies like TRM Labs, which can just absolutely tell you if there is a problem with those flows in regards to money laundering. So no, you wouldn't use crypto. And this is just a false narrative, and it's just starting to really get under my skin, as you can tell. But I really want those that have the power to vote in the United States. She needs to be removed. All right, let's take a quick peek at what's going on in Ukraine, because that is home to 200,000 developers. This number is according to the Amsterdam-based software development outsourcing company DAX. So the country, which is 44 million in population, this has a very large number of developers that are working remotely now, sending deliverables from places like parking garages underneath this heavy shelling. This is a story that came from Logan Bender, a CFO in San Francisco, and even some have fled to rural parts of the country like Lviv. This developer that was working for PogBet says that they just keep working by night and fighting by day. It's got to be a really tough situation. And when we look at Germany, they outsource the most developers from Ukraine. That's their first choice preference, with India following in the second position. And then we take a look at the top 100 largest share of freelance professional developers. You can see that the Czech Republic is number one and Ukraine takes second place for that category. So there is a lot going on there, and I know there's a lot of projects that are currently being built and also projects that are being maintained by these developers who are trying to really just survive right now. So it's a super tough situation. Okay, let's look at 3 projects that are in my portfolio that I'm very pleased with. This is the first one, Terra Luna. Terra Network is going to add 160 new projects by the end of 2022, and that is coming from an update that Do Kwon gave. The total value locked is surpassing 22 billion. Wow, this is a platform that's been able to beat out the smart contracts-backed blockchain networks such as Binance and Phantom, Avalanche, and Solana. They continue to reach millions of decentralized finance enthusiasts. It is one I am very happy with. The second one is Gala, and Gala music has been added to their mix. Oh, wow. It is really going to launch a decentralized world for every music genre. It's going to offer new ways to connect, to discover, listen, earn for the musicians and for the fans. I think this is going to be amazing. They hosted Snoop Dogg today in a Twitter space, and with this new collaboration, you can get 3 songs exclusively for the Gala music people, and it's through this stash box, and you collect all 17, and you can become part of the VIP group, get a small audience live and some bling and other things. I just love the creative collaboration. I'm going to have Sarah, which is the new CEO of Gala Games. She's going to come on to the channel this month. I just think there's just so much going on here. This metaverse game platform that is combining NFTs and all of what Web 3.0 has to offer is, I think, going to be one of the biggest players in this decade. And the third project is, well, it's Star Atlas. And the reason why I'm kind of laughing is because I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, Eddie, this is nothing but just a lot of vision. Well, it is a big vision project. And maybe I'm just attracted to those projects that are trying to do something that's never been done before. If they are able to pull this off, it's going to be something. So they had their big town hall And it was a really big town hall. We've got a new roadmap that's been laid out, and the expectation is to bring on 1 million new players, and they will also integrate a new DAO, and that component is being worked out in legal with new team members that are joining. They have 75 million Atlas in their treasury. They're going through audits right now, building out a UI from scratch, new ships, their website, which is really fabulous, won a big award. But we've got space flight simulators, we've got dynamic guilds. You know, when you look at projects, community is really so much of what makes something successful, especially when it comes to games and the metaverse. So yeah, I am very optimistic that this can actually be executed and can be one of the most incredible ecosystems out there. But I know it's still to be seen. But hey, that's what's fun about this space, is to go for the moonshots. And I think this is one of those moonshots, and I hope they are successful. So I'm just happy with the new roadmap that they laid out, and that town hall that they had yesterday was really, really big. So I continue to enjoy the journey and watch this Star Atlas build out. And finally, I'm going to talk about a new product that's being introduced in Japan, and it is these tatami modules, or these little packaged squares that can form a elevated tatami flooring. Now, you may wonder, why would anybody want this? Well, when you move into the city, most of the newer apartments don't have the tatami floors, and so many people grew up in a house that had tatami that they want to have a little bit of that old tatami flavor. So these squares, which are sold individually, you can have 4, 6, 8, whatever fits your space. You can arrange them so that they fit your lifestyle. This is just one way you could use it, and here is another way. But what I found really ingenious is that they have made these squares also double as a form of storage. So practical for Japan because the living spaces are so small. So the fact that you get kind of 2 in 1, I have a feeling these are going to be very, very successful. And then I'll leave you with this photograph here, which is from a very famous cafe. It's called Itohi Kyuemon in Kyoto. They've been in business since 1832. They're a matcha specialty shop, and this is part of their cherry blossom season limited edition menu for desserts. I think it's just absolutely amazing. And before I say take care and sayonara for now, I'm going to let Linda P. Jones take you out with one more clip that was from her Ripple podcast. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
While Ripple is not a cryptocurrency exchange, it has the potential, in my opinion, to be worth more than a cryptocurrency exchange because it's not locked into traditional stock valuations like many companies are, because traditionally companies are valued by their cash flow or their earnings. But Ripple is going to be different because it will handle trillions of dollars of value per day across the XRP ledger when it's going in full force. And we know that currencies today trade about $5 trillion a day. Once all currencies in the world have a digital version and every central bank has a central bank digital currency, that tells me that literally trillions and probably quadrillions of dollars worth of worth, when you add in derivatives, could travel across the XRP ledger and use XRP as the bridge between two currencies of any value or two tokens of any value, whether that's real estate or bonds or derivatives or whatever gets tokenized.